welcome to Luann Pikett's Kitchen. So today, if you read the title of my video, it sounds all fancy schmancy, doesn't it? Tortellini in rosé sauce. Ooh, this is going to be so quick and easy and simple. So all you do is you buy some frozen tortellini. This is the cheese tortellini. This is actually the big bag. This recipe says the little bag, but the little bag don't have very much in it, so I bought the big bag. I'm going to hope it's enough sauce. And it, in the jar, actually has a little bit more sauce in there than the recipe calls for. So we're going to adjust it so we can use that whole jar. So I got water just about to boil over here. And then I'm going to put that tortellini in it. You know, it takes like 3 minutes to cook, and that is it. 3 minutes. So on this pan, I'm going to turn this on, and I'm going to add, I like to doctor up my spaghetti sauce a little bit. This one, you can use any kind you want. This is Giarusa tomato basil. I like this one with this girl's picture because there's no chunks in it. I don't like chunks in spaghetti sauce. I don't like to chew spaghetti sauce. So I don't like that in there. So I am putting in, say, a half a teaspoon or something of Italian seasoning, and I'm putting it in the pan here first because I want it to warm a little bit with the heat of that will release the, ooh, that's probably a little too warm. Yes, it will release the flavor and the scent when you get it heated a little. It's almost like toasting it. I'm not really toasting it, but I am going to turn that off for a minute. And then this is, I have gotten into this lately. I just love this. I love this on pizza. It's fennel seed. The thing is, they're like eating little rocks. They're real hard little things if you've ever had them. Some people don't like them. They say they taste like licorice, and honestly, they kind of do. And it's so strange because I hate licorice, but I love fennel seeds. I don't get it. I don't. But I smashed them up here in my mortar and pestle, and I'm going to put them in there too. Because I like it with Italian food. Like I said, I've really been on a fennel kick lately. Anytime I have a pizza or any kind of a thing that... Is that boiling yet? Oh, we're almost there. Let me cut this open so we're ready. I have just really been wanting fennel whenever I have Italian food. Now I'm also going to add some of this hot shot. So this is black pepper and red pepper mix, so it's going to make it a little spicy, but not too bad. So I don't know, like an eighth a teaspoon or a little bit more of that. We'll put that in the pan. Now we are fully boiling here. So I'm going to pour in all these cheese tortellini. Like I say, it's going to take 3 minutes. Just dump them in the boiling water. As soon as it starts to boil, we'll mark the 3-minute timer. Let me get my spoon here so they don't stick. But they cook and soften so fast. And then you're just going to put the sauce on it. Because they're cheese filled, you already have your protein and everything in there. Hi, good morning. So over here we have our pan. Now I got to put my sauce in here. And I've got to open it. Now these, I will tell you, these jars are notoriously hard to open. Sometimes they're not too bad. Sometimes they are horrific to open. So I am going to, let me pull this up a little. It doesn't want to go up. Maybe I can just move it. Let's see if this will work. Hi, how are you doing? Okay, here we go. No, that's not going to show very well. How about I get closer? Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay, so what I'm wanting to do is show you my little jar opener. I love this jar opener. I got this on Amazon. And it looks like a claw. Look at it. It takes batteries, and you just set it on here, and you push the button, and it'll squeeze the lid, then it'll squeeze the jar and turn the lid. So you got to get it, you got to hold the button for a minute until it gets like the inner one on the lid. There it goes. Once it kind of gets on it, you can let go, and it undoes the lid. Watch it. Look at that! And then it releases. I love it. No longer hurt my hand. I no longer feel like I have to have somebody come help me. Like, somebody help me. There's nobody here to help me. So that's why I got this. Like, it is a wonderful. Okay, so I'm going to turn on this, and I'm going to put this right in the pan. Like I say, you can use any sauce that you want. Now, that's about 2½ cups. The recipe says 2 cups. This is 2½. And we're going to add to that, oh, Okay, the Parmesan cheese, it asks for Parmesan cheese. I'm going to put that on at the end. So like a third a cup of Parmesan cheese, just sprinkle it on at the end. And then I'm going to do 3/4 of a cup plus 3 tablespoons of half and half. So once this gets warm, you're going to just add some half and half to it. And that's what rosé sauce is. Rosé sauce is half and half mixed into your spaghetti sauce. And it makes kind of a little bit of a creamy orangey sauce looking thing. It's really good. I like it better. Kind of calms it down a little bit. I think I'm also going to put in a tiny little bit of sugar in that. I usually do put just a touch of sugar in spaghetti sauce. It cuts the acidity. Like, you know, a teaspoon. You don't need a lot. I guess you can put a lot if you want. You can put as much as you want there. Or none, if you don't want. Alright, so let's get a bigger spoon here. I'm still waiting for this tortellini to actually boil again. I guess I could put the lid on, but it's so likely to boil over. I'll keep my eye on it. So I'm stirring all this in. And then as soon as this bubbles, I'm going to put the half and half in there. And the poof, that's done too. This is like the easiest dinner ever. It takes like 10 minutes. Okay, so let's open this up and I'm going to measure my half and half. Let's pour it into my measuring cup here. Okay, so it takes 3/4 of a cup plus 3 more tablespoons, which is almost a cup. It's a tablespoon short of a cup, so it's really close. Alright, there you go. Because there's more sauce in here than the recipe calls for, and I'm going to use it all up, so. What are we doing over here in the pan? We are still not boiling. Oh, but this is bubbling. Look how quick that happened. This one's already bubbling. This one back here. That's because that was frozen tortellini. Frozen tortellini takes a while to get it to boil again. And this was room temperature sauce. Okay, so I think I'm going to go ahead and add this in. Since it was bubbling, and then we'll bring it back to heat. And there you go. Stir it in. There's your rosé sauce. How easy is that? There you go. It's so yummy. So we're just going to bring that back to a little simmer. Check this back here again. Oh, we're getting close to boiling. I wonder if I actually need to bring that back to a boil. Simmer for 2 to 3 minutes. Well, it's not simmering. It's almost simmering. You just want it to be heated through because they're kind of cooked. I wanted to bring it to a little bubble, and it's not cooperating. So we'll get this, since I poured the cool cream in here. Now then we're going to make, first time I've made it, we're going to make whipped cream icing for my chocolate cake I made last night. So the cake is completely cold. As a matter of fact, I put the cake in the freezer for a minute, because whipped cream icing, I don't want that to, you know, melt before I get there. So I got to take it to Mom's. Boil. Okay, so let me throw this away. Let me get out my whipped cream. Whipping cream. Put all this stuff up while we're waiting. I got this ready. Let me put in my whisk beater. Whipping cream. It's still. Well, those are some cold tortellinis, I guess. It couldn't handle it. Okay, so I've got the whipping cream. It says I'm going to need. So I'm only doing half this recipe. I'm only doing half the recipe because I only made half the cake. If you're going to ice an entire full-size cake, you want to double this. Oh, here we go, here we go. Woohoo! Boiling over, here we go. set it for 3 minutes. Let's try to get it to stop doing that. I didn't think I had it that close to the surface, but apparently I do. Come on, chill out. Literally. I think I don't need this much water in here. That's the problem. Can I pour out some of the water? I can't get it to quit doing that. I think when I added the tortellini, it really topped the water up really high. There we go. Also made a mess on my stove. They say if you put a stick up there like that, it keeps it from boiling over, but I have not really found that to work. Have you found that to work? Have you tried that? Put it up there like that, it's supposed to keep it from boiling over? I don't know. Okay, so this is bubbling, so let's turn this on low. Really, really low. And we'll also put the lid on. Okay, so let's take the phone over here to, ta-da, Frost the Kitchen to make our icing, or frosting. The same thing, that's what they call it, frosting. So you call it icing or frosting, you know, it's the same thing. I don't know what makes people decide to say frosting or icing. I don't know. Okay, so we're gonna put in here in our bowl, let me turn this down a little bit more, 3/4 of a cup. For half the amount, it's 3/4 of a cup of heavy whipping cream. I like to raise up my measuring cup. You don't have to bend over so much to see it. Okay, 3/4 of a cup of heavy whipping cream for half the amount. Oh, we're beeping already. We're almost done. Okay, so then let's pour this into the, ooh, I'm bumping my thing here. I'm gonna pour that into my, uh-oh, yeah, you can sit there. Okay, I'm gonna pour that into there. I got 45 seconds, I'm gonna have to drain this stuff. So then I'm gonna add to that a 1/2 cup plus 2 tablespoons of powdered sugar, because I'm reducing the amount of the recipe. Let me get rid of this. There we go. Put this actually in the, put it in the dishwasher out of my way. I got my sink ready for draining. Okay. We have 3 seconds. Let me get that. Alright, so we are now going to take the tortellini and put it in our strainer, strain it through. You're making all the noise. There we go. Okay. Now, 1/2 cup of powdered sugar. It says put it all in here and mix. So okay, 1/2 cup of powdered sugar plus 2 tablespoons for half the amount. Full amount is 1 1/4 cups and 1 1/2 cups of whipping cream. Okay, so there's your rest of the powdered sugar. And then we're going to add 1/2 of a 1/3 cup of baking cocoa. Now, do you know how to do 1/2 of a 1/3 cup? A lot of people don't know how to do that. They think it's really difficult. But you look on the butter, stick of butter, and it will tell you where a 1/3 cup is of butter, and it shows you the teaspoons marked off also. So that is actually 5 1/3 tablespoons, which is the equivalent of 16 tablespoons. So that means a 1/2 of a 1/3 cup is 8 teaspoons. It's 8 teaspoons of cocoa. So then this 2 tablespoons, that's 6 teaspoons. You know you have to do math to do this with recipes. 6 teaspoons and 2 more is 8 teaspoons. There's 2 more teaspoons. I have these 2 and 3 teaspoon measures and everything. Are so nice. Okay, that's 2 teaspoons. So that's the amount of cocoa, and then we're going to add a 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla, and then we're going to whip all this together. 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla, and that's it. That's going to be our whipped cream frosting. Ta-da! This will be the first time I've ever made this. This is like chocolate whipped cream. That's so good. Okay, here we go, and it's going to be a lot of noise. Whisk beater does not scrape the bowl at all like my other one with the silicone on it does, and so that's kind of a nuisance. So this one you have to scrape down. Maybe I should start with that other one. Oh well, I didn't know. We'll make it work. Oh, sorry. Avalanche. I knocked you right down. Sorry for the ride. Earthquake! No, not really. Alright, scraping it down. I have it too close. Okay, here we go. Now let's whip it some more. Ooh, this happened pretty quick. There you go. That was pretty fast. Usually regular whipped cream takes forever to whip. Well, it seems like it. Doesn't really take forever, but it takes longer than this. So it must be the cocoa and stuff in it. Must firm it up faster. Oh, don't they look good? Okay. It's like light chocolate. Since I'm icing a cake with it, I kind of want it sort of firm. I don't want mushy, runny icing. So I'm going to take my cake that's I've had in the freezer for about 10 minutes, only because I want it to be cold. Good morning. It's still morning for 3 more minutes, according to my time. 3 more minutes. All right, let's take a taste of this. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's good. Why have I never made this before? It's yummy. Oh, it's so yummy. Well, let's just eat it with a spoon. Forget the cake. Chocolate whipped cream. This tastes like the filling they put like in chocolate cream filled donuts. Oh, now I know how to make that. That's, oh dear. Maybe I shouldn't know how to make it. That's dangerous. Okay, I'm trying to get all the whipped cream now off of this whisk beater. There we go. That we're going to lick in a minute. So let's scrape down our batch here. And I'm not going to take this out of the pan. I'm just putting it on there like this. Because if I wasn't, you know, traveling with it, I'd probably put it on a pretty plate. Put it on the table, which I don't have any table. But if I did, I would put it on a fancy plate and do this. But it's more difficult to travel in a car that way. By yourself. Nobody can hold it. So here we go. And I'm probably going to put this back in the freezer for a few minutes. I'm going to leave here in a few minutes, but I don't want this to be melted by the time I get there. That would not be good. I'll probably keep this in the front of the car with me, too. You know what? I probably have an ice pack in the freezer. I think I'm going to take this with an ice pack in the freezer because I just don't think this is going to fare well in a hot car at all. And it takes about 10 minutes to get there, which isn't bad, but I got to take this out, carry it through the parking lot in the sun for a few minutes too. That's just not going to be good. But this is, if you like cake, but you don't like really sweet frosting. A lot of people don't like the real super sweet, and they are. Frosting's really sweet. It's like all sugar. This isn't all sugar. It's all cream. Cream and cocoa. Does have some sugar, but it isn't super sweet. And of course, you can adjust that sugar. So Mom's wanting to cut her sugar down a little bit, so this is going to be perfect because it's not real high in sugar. And she going to love this whipped cream. Oh, let's lick this beater. I just need a donut to go up. No, I don't need a donut. It's basically chocolate filling. Like chocolate mousse. It's almost like chocolate mousse. Isn't it pretty? Woo! Okay. Now I am done. My dinner is ready. Oh, I have some marinated cucumbers, which I also made last night. And you really want to make them overnight so they get the flavor. And I had them here in this container all night, soaking up the good, yummy, it's like a vinaigrette. I've got those of nice, cool food today. Some of it. The cake, the whipped cream icing, cool cucumbers, and then we have tortellini with rosé sauce. So what I'm going to do with that tortellini, let me move this over here. I've made a mess all over the place with that chocolate. All over my face, all over my hand. I look like a kid. Nobody knows, right? Hey, let me unplug my phone for a minute. If I can. It doesn't want to cooperate. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to put it in. I don't know if this is enough sauce for all this tortellini, but let's find out. Whoops, I dropped one on the floor. That was good. So let's put some of it in here. Ooh, it's hot. And put it back in the pan. If you had some parsley to sprinkle on this, you could do that too. Oh, man, that is on fire. On fire. Okay, let's get you out of the way. Oh, I dropped one back here too. They're escaping on me. Let me get a spoon instead of my finger. It's too hot for my finger. Now, this is something I don't particularly like to make the day ahead because it's better. This is better fresh, this tortellini, because you know it kind of absorbs the sauce overnight. You can still eat it the next day. It's just best fresh. I think we can do all this tortellini. Let's put a little bit, another batch in here. I left it a little too long in this strainer, so it kind of thickened. It's okay. I'm gonna win in the end. Now let's pour the rest of that in. Turn off this burner. See what we have here. But I don't want it dry. That may be pretty good right there. Yeah, I think we're gonna do with that right there. Ooh, that looks so good. Here we go. Dinner is served. I hope you have a very happy 4th of July. No, this is not your typical 4th of July barbecue, but I don't have a grill. Neither do my parents. So we're having tortellini and marinated cucumbers and chocolate cake with whipped cream chocolate frosting. Have a good day. Bye.